so we should be back in a second. Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, should be back again. Right. Yeah, sorry for that. I don't know what's happening. It's either OBS or Twitch or something. Because I was still on Discord and everything online here as well, so that didn't go down. It's just... welcome back, thank you.
Wow, that looks great.
Yeah.
Your view there.
Yeah. I'm always amazed at the level of detail that these sceneries have. So you feel like you can see every single tree on the ground there.
I think you can, yeah. Almost.
So the ultimate plan is to get a 4K monitor, but like a TV screen, like 55 inch. So with the new sim setup that I'm planning, but they're the
Oh, you disappeared? Ah, you went into the menu.
there with 4K the graphics card will definitely have to do a lot of work.
And that's where this graphics card is made for.
Yeah. But right now I'm just really nice enjoying the 2K and then graphics card just kind of chugging along at 30% or something, 40%.
Look at this crazy clouds in front of you.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, Brad, but you made the weather, right? So you made all these cloud layers.
Yeah, I made it.
Nice, an artist you are. Look at that.
Yeah, but I only have to drag some sliders and that's it.
That's incredible. Tremonia, thank you so much for the help. Much appreciated. I'll look at that after the stream. Thank you. Alright. Yeah, so for the night...
20 meters behind you.
Oh yeah, there we go. Formation flying. Yeah, so today, Brent, I'll only be able to do one flight. If that's alright.
Yeah, it's alright.
Because I'm so worn out.
Yeah, no problem. Then we save the next leg for the next time.
Yeah. And again, I'm streaming regularly now, so it will not be a long time.
Are you now in your holidays?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm on holiday now, yeah.
Fantastic. So we have, let me see, 28 minutes to the top of the set.
Magus, thank you. I'm like I said, the fast is kind of a beginning. So from all the stress, and I can only kind of say this year has been one of the most stressful years ever for me in the aviation. So not only the amount of hours that we flew, or days that we worked, but also with the complications of COVID, the difficulty we had with passengers, the issues, technical issues, all kinds of stuff. So that was really an incredible amount of workload, and I've the last couple of weeks I have really been struggling to kind of keep afloat. So yeah, so now the fast is like for me just a cut just to kind of wind down and kind of a reset, and then and then once that's over next week, Tuesday is the last day of the fast. Then I'm just looking forward to the holiday season. Yeah, just nice and tranquil, relaxed, meeting good people, meeting friends, having some good food. Yeah, so that's really what I'm looking forward to.
I hope the amount of work will come back to normal state and very soon in the next year.
I doubt it.
Really?
The problem is we're just missing so many people, so much staff. So I don't see it actually getting better next year. But for me, hopefully there will be a transition over to 747. So there's something I have to look forward to.
Do you think the conditions get better there?
Well, it's going to be just more stable, really. So, less tours, day tours, less changes, during the tours and so on, or just prior to the tour. Bob, yeah, I'll put that forward to my boss. Yeah, Bob, yeah, I hope so too. I hope next year will be better for everyone. I know, I'm aware of the fact that there's people that have it a lot worse than me. But I can only reference myself in my life in the sense that what I've experienced. But I'm happy. It's not that I'm unhappy or not appreciative of what I have. Don't get me wrong. It's just it was a lot of hard work, and it does wear you down, right, mentally and physically. So that's what I'm talking about. I know that there's a lot of people have a lot more issues than I have.
You have the best job in the world, Black Box. Pilot.
I'm enjoying the job, yeah. But like I said,
it's a difficult one, but it's awesome. You see so many different things and flying every day, and fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, it's rewarding, no doubt. It's rewarding, and so hence, like I said, no complaints in that regard. Did you ever fly to Birmingham? Yes, many times. Many times.
Also fly to Sevilla?
Yeah, once I've been to Sevilla, about 3-4 years ago, I think. But I didn't stay there. I was just flying there and straight back again.
Okay. I always tried to fly to Sevilla, but I couldn't find any nice connection to there. Always with the stopover and long time wait and 10 hours to travel for a flight of 2 hours.
Yeah. But so what would you do there in Sevilla? What's it known for?
It is an interesting old town and some nice buildings. That's what I wanted to see.
Okay.
It's a beautiful city.
Hey Marito, yeah, Microsoft. Today this is incredible, right? Again, it's just absolutely gorgeous up in Norway. Wrong title. Let me see. Yeah, we had we lost. Hang on, Numa. Hold on. No, and Twitch should be correct. You mean on YouTube? No, title's fine. What's wrong with it? Numak, you have to reload your window, maybe. James used to work on the ground at Birmingham as a ramp agent. Now works on the nice. Always enjoy coming to Birmingham as well. South America, yeah, I think we have still have Buenos Aires and Sao Paulo. So let's see. ETA 15 minutes.
I doubt that. My plane says stop of descent in 21 minutes.
Okay.
Press on the flight plan, then you can see there down there in the VNAV profile.
Yeah, that's true. 21 minutes. Okay, but the next waypoint is okay. There we go. James, no worries, no worries. In flying raw data, I less on the Airbus. I have a sim assessment coming up for an airline, and it's a lot to get used to. Okay. What sim do you have? Do you have? Well, actually, do you have a flight sim that you use? Because I think flight sims actually are very good in, you know, kind of practicing the, yeah, that raw data kind of stuff. Just to get used to, you know, the scan, know which, you know, buttons do what. Just makes it more kind of relaxed when you're actually doing that. So, there's another thing that just, you know, the Mentor Pilot, the Mentor Pilot video on the topic of the 1,500 hour experience rule in the US to become an airline pilot there. So a Mentor Pilot was kind of bringing forward his arguments, and yeah, he had good arguments because, of course, he sees it from the European viewpoint. But I also understand the viewpoint from the Americans that say, you know, it's been a system that has been established because of some accidents. So, you know, these rules are written in blood, and they have worked out well. So it's a good thing to have, what, 1,500 hours of flight experience before actually going into an airline job. I think Mentor Pilot's argument was that one was that, you know, it depends on where you get the experience. I mean, VFR flying, or, you know, flying as a CFI instructor, is not airline experience. I mean, yes, it's kind of flying experience, but you can have, just like he mentioned, you can actually get bad habits from that, which then have to be ironed out again, right? So in Europe, with our concept where we start out with basic flying, you know, single prop, multi-prop, and then small jets, and then onto type rating 737 or A320. That system has been in place. I mean, I'll talk about what's here in Germany the case. That has been in place for a very long time, and I am not aware of any accidents, any statistic that proves that the European way is more dangerous, so less safe than the US way. However, when I read that there was a try to, or or at least a notion to go and extend the maximum age for airline pilots to 70. Was it 67 or 70? I think 70 it was. I can't remember exactly. But that is not the solution, guys. We're already seeing a higher rate of incapacitations right now because the average pilot is getting older and older and older. So that's not the solution. We need fresh blood. We need young people, motivated and, you know, young and eager to progress, and that's what we need. So, in my opinion, we need a system again that makes it easier for interested, you know, young people to come into the aviation world and become a pilot. That's what we need. Yes, it's going to cost more money that way. I'm aware of that, but you know, having young people or setting a hurdle for young people, like here in Europe, for 100,000 plus euros to start training. That's just not the way to go. So airlines, stop complaining about not having enough pilots. Do something about it, and that means incentives. That means your own flight schools. That means ab initio training programs, that sort of stuff. Stop whining. That's what I say.
How many money is 100,000 euros for an airline? It's nothing for them, but for one people it is a lot.
Yeah. It's
so
just
I think when they want to have good pilots, then they should pay for the education.
So then comes the argument that, well, if you go and study, at university, well, you have your life costs, and that costs you over 5 years or 4 years, the same amount of money. Yeah, true. But I mean, we're talking about an industry, a private industry, that wants to have a certain professional group, professional people, and it's always shareholders in the end. It's always complaining about costs. I mean, for crying out loud. Well, then just live with the fact, if you go that path and you don't increase incentives, well, then just live with the fact that you're not going to have enough people, and those that you do have, you're risking of burning out, right? So that's something that I just don't understand. James, sorry for the late answer. You have the air slabs. I got a little confused when flying at the bottom of the diamond and the dagger, and they should line up together. To see if you're off course, whether you're tracking clouds to yeah. Yeah, so the idea is, same with the flight path vector, if you are able to use that on the prime flight display, that shows the path of the aircraft. So the same for the diamond, that shows where the aircraft is drifting along. Right, so if the wind is coming from the left, your heading will be left of the track line, and so you have to center the localizer and then make sure that the diamond stays on that localizer, on that course. Right, your heading will be off a bit. It takes practice, but again, flight sims obviously are a good means to do so. Yeah, Jack, I did, yeah. Yeah, Jack, and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm sick of hearing these complaints from airline managers, and the solution is expensive, but the solution is there. Well, yeah, Fogbound Turtle, I mean, good luck with that. Eventually, yes, 50 years from now, who knows? But right now, we already have a huge shortage of pilots, especially US, and it's going to get worse worldwide over the next 5 to 10, 15 years. That's what I'm talking about. Boeing, Airbus, whoever, all the big manufacturers, they're all coming out saying, we don't have enough pilots. We're going to build planes, but there's not going to be any pilots to fly them. So yeah, solution, single pilot concept, GG. I mean, what a innovative way to go forward, right? Yeah, I mean, you can say to me I'm old school, which is true. I'm 53, so I'm old school, yes. But again, I see many young people who would have the right stuff to become an airline pilot, but I hear from them, no, it's just too expensive. It's just too much risk involved. So you're already closing the doors for so many, possible young candidates. Well, Jack, the plans are there. We're already seeing the military come forward with tanker aircraft single pilot concept. Airbus currently is working together with Cathay Pacific with an A350 single pilot concept for the cruise flight, that is. Right, so step by step. But it's definitely there's a lot of money involved in that. Even the EASA is actually sponsoring that notion, so it's not a theory, it's fact. Yeah, actually, the problem is so here's the the perfect world for the managers. They managed to just talk about pilot training here. They managed to here in Europe, for example, they managed to outsource their flight schools, and the demand from young people to become an airline pilot was pretty big initially, but then suddenly that market just dried up, and so the amount of possible prospect or candidates that are available on the market now has subsided. Also, there has been a lot of negative press, especially in Germany, with where they covered the stories from young pilots that went through pilot school halfway and that got kicked out. Contracts just simply waived, and they having to go in front of a court of law to get their money. We've even had cases here in our community. Really, really sad, really frustrating cases, and how badly they treated their future pilots. And so with the social media these days, these news are being spread, and so young people now will think twice about going into that risk without any guarantees. Yeah, I've heard about Portugal as well, yeah. Alright, so Brent, it's at the airport to the right.
Maybe.
Because, look, right, so we're coming from the north, circling around. Yeah, that's the airport, I think.
Yes, it is, exactly, yeah.
Okay, so 9 minutes to top of descent. Well, we're not very high, so that's why.
Yeah. Descent is 500 meters, 500 feet. I know, approach peak is 4.5. I will already dialed in. 4.5.
So the ILS should tune automatically, correct?
Should, but it's better to check it.
Okay, so 108.7. So I'm going to go on heading, go...
It's dialed in, but it's still not identified. Oh, what happened?
Hang on. So CDI, localizer, I want to get the frequency here, that's enough one.
So I will decelerate a little bit to give you some space for the approach.
Mm-hmm. And the course was...
Good night.
Hey Avenger, thank you so much for watching. And thanks for the support, Avenger. Really, really, really cool. Thank you so much. Stay safe.
What was the course?
303.
Ah, 303.
Just checking again, so 108.7. Romeo Oscar 303. I'm not receiving it just yet, but yeah, that's...
Yeah, same for me. I hope it is modeled.
If not, it's completely visual then.
Yeah, it is. Enough on again. Mm. 8 minutes and couple of seconds.
Tremonia, wow, I'm impressed with your flying today. GG, have a good landing. So we could go VNAV on that. VNAV path. Like your opinion on something. What do you think using flight simulator for initial training with VR and shared cockpit to lower the initial training costs? Well, Yeah, so give you an example, Edgy. So a lot of flight schools these days, and even airlines, they use flat panel trainers initially to train their pilots. What's a flat panel trainer? Well, it's several monitors screwed together, and they're all touch screen. And so, pedestal, overhead, the screens, everything's touch screen. And then you've got one more screen that shows you the systems, so behind the aircraft itself. So when you fail a hydraulic system, for example, you look at the system monitor. You just look at how the display or the buttons change, or the ACOM changes, etc., etc. So that's a neat system, yes, but I personally think VR has got so good. So I'm talking about VR in the Phoenix, for example, that I've tried. With the 1490, it's actually running at fairly good FPS. So FPS, not perfect, but FPS where I would say, I enjoy flying around with it. And there, if you're sitting, so you get these gloves these days that monitor your hand position, finger position, and you can actually then push the buttons virtually. That is actually really, really cool. I think that's something. There are other parts in aviation where people already train with VR. Cabin crew, for example, these days already train with VR to do like security search on an aircraft. So that's already, implemented and approved. Brent, I'm wondering, are we flying? If it's flying the racetrack pattern, because it's inserted there.
Really? No, I don't think so. You don't have a hold in flight plan.
Well, it's a racetrack pattern, like on the screen at least.
Okay. Maybe it's a part of the go-round procedure.
Could be, but I just want to see if I can find the. Hang on, how would I get to? There you go. No, it doesn't say anything about holding on the approach. Just a missed approach as a holding. Okay, that's fine.
Can you show me your primary flight display for a second, please?
Yep.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. You have 108.7 on the N1. That's very good. For me, it was auto-tuned in the N2. But I don't know if this works. I don't think so.
Right, cool to see everyone's still with us. Fantastic. What's your thought on the MPL as opposed to integrated ATPL? I believe MPL, they rush students into the sim. And, well, the problem with MPL is, and we've seen it here over the last couple of years, they get dropped quickly and then they have nothing. Right, so you just sit there. While with an ATPL, you may have a chance to pick up the rest of the training somewhere else and then go somewhere else. So I've never been a fan of MPL, binding yourself to a company that way. I mean, if you want to bind someone, well, why not offer them an ATPL and then say, well, if you work for us and we pay you, I don't know, X amount for the ATPL, you have to guarantee to work for us for, let's say, 3 years, 5 years, any number. And then you can think about it, and you say, all right, yeah, it's worth the risk and it's worth the reward. Why not do so? But like I said, the flight schools, airlines have managed to kind of offload all of the responsibility, financial, training, etc., all onto the students. And I just don't find that's fair. Okay, so let's start concentrating. Tracking very nicely, very impressed. So 5,000 feet minimum until the Umbuk. And then yeah, we'll start the descent. It's about a 500-foot descent, not far. Do you think COVID is over? Difficult to say, but at the moment we are, at least in Europe, I'm not sure about the US, but at least in Europe we're seeing a stagnation of these waves. So it's not gone, but the severity seems to just get less and less. And we've even had some counties now say that even if you tested positive, you can still go to work.
We don't know which variants maybe will come up next time.
Exactly. There's the airport to the right. Yeah, exactly that. You know, so that's why predictions is always risky. Right. So, turning.
Still not receiving the ILS.
Also, I mean, looking at, I don't see a offset on the. Oh yes, it is. There's an offset. It doesn't look like an offset, but there is an offset definitely. Yeah. Okay, so it's going down 4.5. Let's go on to heading. I have the ILS. All fine.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so I'll go with approach. So lock is active and glide slope is armed. And let's reduce the speed. In the UK, it's not so much a. It's more a moral dilemma. Okay. Right, so we're descending down to, let's try to get 3,200 feet for the circle. One set of flaps. Reynolds, those lights on the ground, are they just general lights? Probably, right? They're not really part of the approach.
Yes, exactly. It's only street lamps also.
Okay. Kind of misleading then. Because if you look at it, it's a perfect circle really around the airport there. Lovely. So where are we going to leave the runway? Ooh. Backtracking. Okay. Well, with small aircraft, I think we can avoid each other.
You don't really need to backtrack because we are flying around and.
This way. Yeah, of course. Yeah, coming the way. Yeah.
Don't forget.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you have tailwind.
Yeah. All good. So. Let's do some hand flying. Perfect on the glide slope.
ILS does not point very good to the runway.
No, it's an offset approach, Reynolds.
It is.
Yeah. You can't really see it from the chart, but if you look very closely, you can see it. So one more set of flaps here. And a bit of power. So 3,200 was the circling around. Let's try and get back up. So actually, Brennel, I think the lights are actually those circling lights.
But the circling on the chart looks very much smaller than this big circle here.
Yeah. But if you look at if you zoom in and if you have your live position active, it does actually coincide.
1,000. Really? Okay, then I will follow you.
So you can see the reason why you're supposed to be in 3,200 is because of that terrain. And then from past that hillside there, then you start visually descending just the slope. So we'll start using speed here, get the fan flaps out. Yes, 100%. Those lights are actually for the approach. Absolutely sure about that.
500.
Fantastic. Yes, I can see it in the map. 400.
No, it's a freeware scenery, correct, Reynolds?
It is, yeah.
Flightsim.to, that's where we've got it.
There are two sceneries. The one is very basic, and the other one is that here.
Yeah, so that's the more detailed one. And
The other one only has a runway and nothing else.
So someone took care in actually making these lead-in lights.
300.
And they really require them because I've lost sight of the runway. I can see the lead-in, so somewhere over here, that probably is the airport there. Yeah, that's trim, yeah. Correct. There's the runway. If I'm not completely mistaken, I think I just saw 2 red, 3 red, 1 white. Okay, so we get a little bit low. So let's correct that. 300. That's a cool approach. So again, this Norway tour is definitely something you should do. It's just scenic. Has some really cool approaches as well. And now here in Microsoft Flight Sim, you can get so many freeware sceneries. That is a cool approach. Black box approved. 200.
We are going 50. 40.
30.
North
20.
Ooh. What happened?
30. 20. Go on. Just add a little bit of drama.
Wind here or storm?
I didn't watch the speeds closely enough, so I just pulled back the thrust a bit and then the aircraft dropped really fast. I have a feeling that at least on the ground again I have 2 different markings.
I think I was a bit fast, so aircraft jumped and jumped and jumped. I think I landed 4 times.
Oh, that's cool scenery. That's freeware.
I think it was worth the effort to change quickly.
Absolutely. Hey, Ted Barker just caught up. Hey, GG's. Ted, well done. Yeah, you have pulse lights available in the flight deck. So you have landing lights and you can do pulse lights as well. So here it says landing pulse or landing light on. So if you put that to on, it's steady. Christmas lights, you guys.
I think the pulse lights are for daylight approaches because that's better visibility when they are pulsing, and the steady light is for the night approaches.
Okay. Landing rate at the end was minus 200. Well, it's alright. I saved that one. This area ICAO. Okay, so the airport where we just landed is Echo November Romeo Oscar. That's where we just landed. All right, so that's already low idle almost. That's low idle.
And these landing rates are very unreliable. When the runway is climbing or descending, then you have completely wrong values. So that was a nice one.
That
Don't
was a
forget
beautiful
to
one.
file your pirate paper.
Yeah, thank you much for reminding. Hey, there's Ted. Oh, fantastic! I love that. Just to know that a good friend is actually someone in the UK, but we're virtually kind of joining up here to fly together. That's so cool. Next step, Ted, is a shared flight challenger. Let me know when you're up for it. And same for Magus. Let me know, Magus, when you have time, because yeah, offline, of course. I'm not gonna. The only person that I'm gonna enjoy first online is Mark. He's he's definitely in need of some instruction. Okay, Magus. Well, yeah. Well, oh, you mean holidays? Only 3 days left. Well, yeah. Then yeah, by all means, let me know. Give me a shout. Cut that off. What do you mean? Now he's worried, you see. All right, guys, thank you so much. Bernard, thank you so much for making the weather file today. That was absolutely gorgeous, spot on.
You're welcome. Save the weather file for the next flights.
So pirate is filed. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, I have a feeling. Yeah, so that's definitely something's messing up with. I'm going to have to get Centralize help on this. There's definitely some things from Microsoft just coming through the scenery. Ted, exactly. All right, cool, guys. Thank you so much for flying along, and I see you again if you like on Saturday, unless I somehow have a kind of a breakdown because of my fasting, but I don't think so. So normally, day 2 is the worst, and then day 3, day 4 usually gets better. We'll see. So the plan right now is on Saturday, next live stream. Hey, V-Chris. V-Chris, a question to you, V-Chris. Are you finding any time to do some flying? Tremonia, thanks again for flying along. Thank you much, Bob. Take care, Bob. Yeah, and again, happy Thanksgiving. Runa, thank you so much for watching. My pleasure. All right, someone coming in here. Nice. What's an MXS?
I don't have an idea.
MXS. Oh. Whoops. He's going the other way. All right. Cool, guys. Stay safe, everyone, and I'll see you again very, very soon. Thank you so much for the amazing support that came through today. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Good night.